What's up, everybody?
Why are they not?
I'm here.
What is going on?
Whoa, hey.
I'm ready to do our live, but it's a police chase going on right now. This motherfucker just stopped to get some gas.
Almost in a hover.
The last
we gonna get with our topic for the day.
In the tank.
And what was the e-bike, right? It
was. But we have this police chase going on here in L.A. And I was watching this shit like. Keep telling y'all, L.A. wild. This dude just stopped to get some gas in the chase. Yeah, this is what's up, everybody. We gonna get to the topics of the day. But I was watching this chase, and I'm like, I don't want to be late on my live. I'm telling y'all, LA, wow, they're in the valley right now. What's up, Williams? They appreciate the cash app. This is the second police chase this week that the person stopped and got some gas. No, they turned. They're in the valley, not too far from my alma mater, Cal State Northridge. This dude running from the police. Let's see. He says definitely not a politician that they're chasing. This dude, the police ain't even behind him no more. I know exactly where they are. I know exactly where they are. Yeah, we gonna talk about that that Versuz. That Versuz was this is a cul-de-sac, stupid. You know, LA wild like that, but the valley full of cul-de-sacs like this. We're gonna get into talking about the Versuz. We're gonna get into talking about I was watching the video of Billy Carson's ex-wife did a couple months ago. I was like, I want to talk about this because we were just talking about Billy Carson on this channel the other day. What's going on? And about these frauds in the black community that we cannot be afraid to call out. Yeah, gas about $6 a gallon. Okay, going down the alley. He ain't got no cops behind him. What are you doing? Just get out and run, nigga. You got that helicopter over you, so you ain't getting away. Oh, hell yeah. LA car chase is a classic. They are in North Hills, which is right next to Northridge. And up in this area, it's a lot of cul-de-sacs. It's only like the way these neighborhoods are set up, there's only like one or two streets that can get you in, one or two streets that can get you out. And the rest of the neighborhood is cul-de-sacs and turns. He ain't tripping on gas price. He in a Honda. That same kind of Honda I drive. I got a 2025. He got a 2025 or for some of that Accord. Oh, they on Havenhurst. Oh, the cop is there. This nigga turned around. This nigga saw the cop and turned back. Oh, we gotta see what's about to happen here. This nigga turned around to follow the cop. Oh shit. We're gonna get to the topic later on in a little bit. But this just took a turn. He just turned away into the cop. Now we are out here in the San Fernando Valley. All of this area back in up into the 1960s, 50s, up until white flight, this was all orange groves out here in the valley. So if you're ever out here in the Northridge, North Hills area of LA, it was a black man that brought oranges from Florida to California. And it was here in this neighborhood where the California orange industry really blew up. But it was in the 1950s into the 60s when they had white flight. They built this neighborhood right here in North Hills in the late 50s going into the 60s for white flight in Southern California. But it's still an area that's sort of a mixed race now. Still mostly white over here in this area. The Mexicans are when you cross the 405. Now he's going down Plummer. He's in Northridge. He's going towards my alma mater, Cal State Northridge. Let's see if he gets to Cal State Northridge. If he was smart, he would go to CSUN and jump out and dip into the camp. Well, it's summer. No, school's back in now. Oh, it's crossing Havenhurst. If that word Havenhurst sounds familiar to you, that's the street that the Jackson family lives on. But Captain Jackson, her part of Havenhurst is about 5 or 6 miles south of where they are right now. They just crossed Pettit. The next, okay, what are we doing right here? Reseda should be coming up. No, Reseda's no further on. Reseda's further out. Like a Balboa right here, yeah. This is a hill. Should be a big old huge church to the right. They're going up a hill right now. And he slowed down. Oh yeah, some be getting away. They do be getting away. But this isn't an area where you're gonna get away. If you're gonna get away, you gotta go towards downtown or towards the airport where the helicopters can't cross. Now, I would imagine the reason why the helicopters pulled back is because the Van Nuys Airport is not too far from here, so I'm sure the helicopter needs clearance to cross. That's why you're getting such a faraway shot, because this is right within the landing path of the Van Nuys Airport. Van Nuys Airport lands north to south, and that airport is right off Balboa. And okay, it looks like they're probably going around the flight path of the Van Nuys Airport. Yeah, he's just going to CSUN parking and dip. CSUN got a huge parking garage that wasn't built when I was there. They built that shit after I left. I was like, man, F y'all. I had to pay for a parking pass and could never find parking. Yep, they're coming up on that CSUN right there where you see those big old tall buildings. That is California State University Northridge. That's my alma mater right there. Y'all see that? Cal State Northridge. You see my campus? The porn industry capital of all colleges. You had to watch out when you was messing with chick, when you had a beautiful chick at that school. See, I told you flight path. You saw that plane landing? In that flight path. You had to watch out for these chicks when I was at Cal State Northridge, because half of them, all the ones that was like hella beautiful, they was all porn chicks. Why? Because it is in this San Fernando Valley where the porn industry lives. Up in this area, over off DeSoto and Vivid Entertainment and all those places. And I know this because, again, they went to my school. So they tell you, hey, we have a shoot over here. If he was smart, he would get off and go to CSUN. Man, this is a bad shot. Now they want to play some shit from earlier. They had to go around. Yeah, he got up to 5 stars. He was at 3 stars, but he went the wrong way on the freeway. What's up, everybody? We're going to get started with the topic. I just wanted to see what happened with this chase. Now they playing replays. Nah, somebody else got to be on this. Some other channel got to be on this, son. Y'all doing bad camera work, Fox. Let's see what NBC doing. Where NBC at? Okay, NBC's on it. Oh, they're on Devonshire and Encino. That means they're past Cal State Northridge. Excuse me. Yeah, if he was smart, he would have dipped off and went to CSUN. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna follow this chase the whole time because this dude be going in and out. Y'all see here, this is what he's doing earlier. That's why I said, okay, I gotta go live with this. This dude went the wrong way on the 405 freeway. He's next to a motorcycle driver now. What's that motorcycle driver doing? What are you doing, you idiot? That car, man. Look at this dumbass on a motorcycle. See, I told y'all LA wild, man. LA is wild. You got a dude on a motorcycle that's trying to keep up with a police chase. I was about to go into the main topic, but I got to see this shit. Somebody said share the road. Look at this. This dude is on it, boy. He must be an internet sleuth. Okay, they're on Valvoa. What's this dude doing? Hell nah. He cussing him out. Man, police need to arrest that motorcycle driver. Get your ass out the way, nigga.
These drivers, you never know. We haven't.
Look at this nigga. Hey, I want to get to the topic, but I got to see what's going to happen here. What the fuck? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We gonna get to the topics, but this dude is in a. He got a civilian That's not even a motorcycle on there. That's a moped. You got a civilian moped driver. I'm telling you right now, LA wild, and they're in the valley right now. So I guarantee you, it's over 100 degrees. Let me check the weather. It's in the 90s right now. What is this dude doing? This nigga tried to grab the car. He tried to grab the car door. Hey, it was a police. Hey, y'all missed yesterday's. Wednesday. When I kind of got caught up in the middle of a police chase on Wednesday when I was heading to the Hollywood Bowl. It was a dude on a dirt bike, and he stopped and got some gas. And one of his homies, actually, he didn't get enough gas. He took off on his dirt bike and took the gas pump with him, and then he rode his bike through the motorcycle through a park, and somebody emptied like a gallon of gas, had like a bottle of a water, like a big 1 gallon water bottle of gas, and this dude went through the park and refilled his motorcycle with gas. That was a police chase that happened on Wednesday. In LA, these things happen in waves. We might go a month or two without a police chase, and then it'll be like a 2 or 3 week stretch where we get like a police chase like 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, that dude on that motorcycle thought he was Citizens on Patrol, like Police Academy 4. Citizens on Patrol. Let's see here. They're on Haskell and Plummer. They're going back on Plummer. Okay, so they might be going right back over there by Cal State Northridge. Oh, Channel 4 must be running out of gas. A helicopter. Let's see if they back over here on Channel 11. I don't know. They might be having
Back of that motorcycle. Oh my goodness! You can't make this stuff up, Stu. You really can't.
All right. No, we can't. We can't for sure. And Van Nuys Airport's just. I love those guys in the tower out there. I really, really do. And they're doing what they can to keep us safe. But,
what are they saying?
Clearly the times have changed. They're basically saying that we need to go all the way up to the 118 to cross the runway.
Oh, I see.
And that's what we're doing right now. And they're clearly right by the Roscoe Boulevard is where the pursuit is right now. So we're going way north while the pursuit is going way south. And hopefully...
We got you.
We'll be back over here in just a moment.
We understand. I mean, it's
okay. Well, Let's get to the topic. If anything changes, we'll get over to it. Anyway. What's up, everybody? We got a couple things I want to cover today. We're going to talk about the verses. I'm not going to go too deep into the verses. We're going to talk about this interview I saw with Billy Carson's ex-wife. Press number one if you know who Billy Carson is. Press number one if you know who Billy Carson is, if you're familiar with him. Press number one if you're familiar with Billy Carson. We're going to talk about that. And then it's a few other things that I want to talk about. I want to first start off talking about, see, I know who Billy Carson is. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Okay, I want to first talk about, did y'all hear about that, what's going on over at Penn State? Well, actually, before I get into Penn State, I want to start this off by saying congratulations to Sam Watson. Congratulations to Sam Watson. Sam Watson just got a street corner named after him. And that's why I didn't do it live yesterday. Because I was there seeing Uncle Sam. You're not my real uncle, but he and my dad go back to elementary school. And if you know Al Heyman, Sam Watson is the face of Al Heyman. That's Councilman Curran Price with his son Marcus and Sam. That's me taking a picture with, I went to high school with these cats. Me and Brandon we hooped in high school together. And Brandon to the left. We hooped at Westchester together. His brother Marcus is younger than us. People be thinking they twins. They not. But it was good seeing Brandon yesterday and his father get a street corner, the corner of Manchester, Florence and Main Street. You know Sam Watson? Watch this.
One more step. Can we do one more step back?
Right here. All right, count down from 3, 2, 1.
Man, salute to Sam, man. I'm so happy. Man, I've been knowing Sam most of my life. He's big time here in the city of LA. He helped put Robin Harris in front of the world. Marvin Gaye. That was Sam Watson. Anything Al Heyman, you see him as a face. And you see this picture right here. That's my dad, Sam, and his brother, Bob. They all grew up as kids together. My pops over off like 67th and Main Street. So they've been friends since the 1950s. They all go back to like 1959, 1960. So my pops came on out too in the Just Do It shirt. Salute to my dad. He and Sam, but they've been cool for a long time, man. So salute to Sam Watson. Salute to Sam Watson. Salute to Sam Watson. Then I want to get to this real quick. This fraud case. This major drug crackdown at Penn State. I want y'all to look at this real quick. Watch this story.
And that is where we start tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Natalie Pasquarella.
And I'm David Ushery. Men from Long Island and New Jersey facing charges. They're all allegedly caught up in a complex drug ring that stretched from New York to the Penn State campus.
And one of the alleged ringleaders is from Westbury, Long Island. Investigators say this operation used fraternity pledges to funnel drugs to Penn State students, allegedly getting the drugs from New York to Philly. We have News 4's Greg Sergo live in Westbury with more on how it all unfolded, Greg.
And Natalie, this Westbury Street is home to that former student and alleged leader of the drug ring. He's one of 4 Long Island men and 3 from New Jersey charged in connection with selling cocaine on the Penn State campus.
Is there anything you want to say?
No response today from this woman entering the Westbury home of Agostino Abatiello. He's the 24-year-old who surrendered to Pennsylvania authorities today, a day after failing to appear in court on charges he was the leader of a major cocaine ring on the campus of Penn State University.
Completely shocked. I can't believe it.
This neighbor today called the Abatiello family hardworking, but Pennsylvania's Attorney General describes Agostino Abatiello as Penn State's largest drug dealer in 2023 and 24.
Large amounts of cocaine, kilos, were brought from Philadelphia and New York to State College, where they were cut and packaged for sale primarily to Penn State students.
In all, 13 current or former Penn State students have now been charged. Prosecutors say the cocaine was packaged at 2 off-campus fraternities, with fraternity brothers and pledges doing the work.
Cutting and bagging cocaine was, for some pledges, an indoctrination into the Delta Upsilon and Sigma Chi fraternities.
Abatiello was with the Sigma Chi fraternity, a former accounting student whose About Me page said had a passion for numbers. In a statement, Penn State said it's horrified by the allegations, but prosecutors say there's no evidence drugs were packaged on the university campus itselse. In Secaucus today, News 4's Sarah Wallace visited the home of one of the 3 New Jersey men also charged in connection with this ring.
They will go to the darkest one.
Harabi's mom declined
He ain't black.
comment. A neighbor, however, expressed the same surprise voiced by many close to these defendants.
I just heard about this morning, and I'm devastated for the family. I'm devastated for the other children. I'm sad for them.
Back here in Westbury, where there's word that Abatiello was ordered held without bail today by a Pennsylvania judge. A parent of one of the students has also been charged in connection with this case, allegedly for trying to conceal evidence from investigators. We're live in Westbury. Greg Sergel, News 4 New York.
Well, I say this. I say lock them all up. I say lock them all up because if we're going to be all honest, this is the face of the drug problem in America, right here. They'll let 50 Cent do one of his little TV shows and put us as the face of drugs. They'll talk about Freeway Rick Ross and they'll do all that stuff, but right here is the true face of the drug problem in America. The people who get the drugs from Colombia, those who work within the government to facilitate these drugs coming to the United States of America, those who distribute the drug to the street dealers, generally look like a lot like this. This is the face of drugs in America, and it always has been. This is the face of drugs in China. Hold on. What happened? I heard my wife in the other room. Seeing what I thought something happened with the chase. This is the face of drugs. Sorry about that. This is the face of drugs all across the world. This is the face of those drugs getting planted in Afghanistan. This is the face of drugs coming through Mexico. This is the face of drugs coming through ships, through boats, and through aeroplanes. And also, I want to say one more thing about Penn State. Remember, this is the same Penn State who allowed Jerry Sandusky to basically booty bust college football recruits, going back to the 70s. Who remembers Sandusky? They put it on Joe Paterno, but Jerry Sandusky. Penn State has a history of molestation, of grape, and now of major drug distribution. At what point are these colleges and universities gonna be held to the same account as common citizens like me and you, or any kind of a company. This is the face of degeneracy and debauchery in Southern California. Okay? Let's be clear. Next story. Checking back in on the chase. They're on Devonshire and Zelza. Well, they're on White Oak right now in Devonshire. In Granada Hills. They're not far from Granada Hills High School. The Granada Hills High School is where John Elway, the great John Elway, went to high school. About a block or two from where they are right now. But this chase seems like it's gonna be going through forever. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going with the topic, and I'll give you updates on what they do in that chase as we go throughout this. Next up. Did y'all see the Versuz? Did y'all see the Versuz? I saw some of it. I didn't watch it all. But I will say this. From what I did see, I saw about 70% of it. Joe waxed the floor with Donnell Jones. Joe waxed the floor with Donnell Jones. I'm listening to my wife give reaction, and that means some shit going on. He must almost... My wife in the other room watching this chase. I hear her go, oh, shit. So, I mean, something happening. Where they at right now? Hold on. I just had to switch back. Sorry about that, y'all. Here go the police. Pin him. Get him. Come on, cop. You a punk. Come on, cop. Get him. Ah. Man, y'all weak. I thought. Cop, y'all weak. Told y'all these cops in LA are punks. Uh-oh. Oh, his tire came off. Hold on, we're going to get to the Joe Versuz. His tire, they must have got him with a spike strip. That nigga tire came off. You see that tire? Uh-oh. Here come the hammer. Uh-oh. Why are you in the parking lot, man? People walking over there. That nigga tire coming off. Man, whatever. Let's get back to the Versuz. Let's get back to the Versuz. So let's get to this Versuz. You saw they both came dressed out clean.
What's happening?
It's R&B.
What's happening?
It ain't me. This ain't me, y'all.
Also, that's a Versuz stream. Okay.
And
what's up, y'all? Y'all ready? Don't wanna be.
Joe came out dressed like he the last nigga you see before you get your blood drained. This nigga came dressed like goddamn Count Dracula. I'm gonna start off by saying this. At least with R&B, they came out looking like grown ass men. Unlike that goddamn Game versus YG. That Blood Festival Should have called it a blood ritual. And so Joe came out smoking.
I don't know if it'll ever come back again. Yeah, but there's something about you.
Sounds like there's audio issues going on. And I don't want to play too much because I don't know if I'm gonna get a strike or not. I don't know if I'm allowed to play this music without getting a strike. But I'll say this. I will say this. Let me see. I'll say this.
I swear to you.
Both brothers came out smooth. This is what I want to say, like right when Donnell Jones got on stage.
Don't worry, baby girl, 'cause I get it bad for you. No more.
He sounds flat.
So if your heart ain't ready, but I can't leave you alone. I know that you've been dealing with this, how they treat you right. I'm the type that got it, don't make promises, I wanna be the
I'll say this. One thing I did not like, I like the fact that they had a band. I love the fact that they had a band. But I'm going to say this. That drummer was way too busy. The drummer was doing too much.
And if you got a nigga all the time.
There's one part in particular I want to get to.
One for you. Check it out.
Here it is. Whoever the drummer was had a deep pocket. They were good, but they were doing too much.
He lied. He said we sound good. I had my mic muted for a reason.
What you got, Playboy? What's next?
But you know what, Joe,
I think I'm gonna stay right here on the stage and intimidate you a little bit.
But you know, I wrote this song back in '99, man. I want to bring these young ladies out. 702, come out real quick, man.
He brought 702 out. It was good seeing them.
What?
Good seeing these sisters. That song was hot.
Take I'll be willing to spend the night. All you gotta say is please stay.
Joe did his thing.
And I'll be staying as long as you're saying more and more. Then after that you won't. I can't believe that I could speak my baby. I put her through like having been stolen the crib. You do not just be wild. All these I hurt you.
I don't want to. I think that Donnell Jones sing sounds better than that. I want to blame the audio, but also at the same time, I don't know if I want to blame the audio for the whole night. Usually at some point they would have switched his mic.
All right. Well, we got some real fans.
Man, Joe sounds amazing. Joe sounds amazing. And Joe's voice is amazing, bro. I'm skipping just so I don't get a strike. And Donnell Jones don't quite sound like, Drummer, you doing too much.
Stop lying to me about seeing a man. You're ticking me off.
I broke up with a chick to this song when it came out. But she was stuttering.
My day, you do not know me, but I know you very well. Now let me tell you that
Okay.
Shit, what a twist. If you stand aside.
Couple of things, but I was getting down. Ain't a bullet that you got a crowd around you. Now you're the better thing I've seen tonight. So come on, girl, let's put it in high. I got the V1, 2.
Donnell Jones is flat. Like this far into a show, I don't want to blame the mic.
By the way, your body's placed for. I've been chilling at the MC was. We got eyes on me.
Baby, I wanna do all of every little thing. Baby, I wanna do all that. I wanna do all of every little thing.
Listen to Joe's voice.
Let's go. I'll take you out on a night cruise on a yacht. We just can't lose cause we
Drummer doing too much.
to look forward to.
Let me explain what I mean by when I say drummer's doing too much. Whenever you're playing, this for the musicians out there. Whenever you're playing R&B and whenever you're playing for a singer, less is more. As a drummer, it's your job and a musician to play the pocket. You just play the pocket. We coming in with these triple flamadiddle paradiddle flamadiddles and 30-second note triplet on the toms, kick left right, all that shit. It interferes with the sound. As a musician, the singer is why everyone is here for all. The reason why we all getting paid when you're playing R&B is that singer on stage. As a musician, you got to understand nobody's coming to hear you. Outside of niggas like me who play the drums, I'm like, okay, such as on drums. But even as a drummer, nobody's coming to hear you. You do that when this music only. You got somebody singing. You don't want to do all this shit that this drummer's doing. It's messing up. So I want to give Donnell Jones some credit. Joe is singing right through it. But when I hear Donnell Jones kind of messing up, kind of going in and out, I'm hearing what the band is doing, and the band is doing too much. And when the band is doing too much, it fights for space with the singers. But Joe's doing a great job going through it. He's gonna keep it there on drums. Just keep it there. All that extra shit, leave that. Sing it, Joe. What I don't like is there are no background singers up here. Both sides should have had background singers up here.
Baby, when I start, I just can't. All of you from nothing is moving when we touch. Baby, wanna do all of.
Yeah, so Joe got him with that. Well, you're right. They did have background singers. I'm sorry. The audio, you couldn't hear the fucking background singers. I saw the background singers off to the side, but you couldn't hear them.
Yeah. Find myself thinking about your love. It's a feeling I get on my heart. You know
You know, good job.
See what?
Yeah, let's go to it. We want to do something special tonight too, so y'all stick with us for a minute. We're gonna try this one out. What we got? I like this one. Ladies, y'all with me? This is the joint I did with Mariah Carey. Hey.
Your touch.
Oh, this is a remake of Peak Sweat. There goes some background singers. There go. We can hear the background singers now. Yeah, you did this sound engineer. This somebody that this was a sound engineer from the ice cream truck.
Okay.
And then Joe brought off 50 Cent.
Hey, yo, drop that.
The big I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life. I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come with
Nice full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cans and skyscrapers. Hard to get a start in these parts without legal or illegal, baby. I gotta make it.
This song right here. This is Donnell Jones' biggest hit right here. The Sims are going too strong.
Let me see Dubs in the chat right now. Finally,
Got the He's flat. He's flat. He's flat. Niggas say it sound like me trying to sing one of his songs. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was his biggest hit.
He definitely did.
Say what, you know that I'm out and be girl, you know what's up.
Donnell Jones drummer look like Jamel Charlo, don't he? Doing too much. See, Joe's drummer is a little bit is far more in the pocket. Far more in the pocket. Donnell's drummer is doing way too much.
He got some dance moves tonight.
This was Joe's best Sim song right here.
Listen, baby. Girl, he never understood what you were. I know. And he never took the time to happy from the bottom of my heart.
Come on, sing it, Joe.
Y'all sound so good.
Joe had a lot of hits, man.
From the bottom.
See you, man. It's been a minute.
So yeah, that was it. We skipped through it. The Versuz was cool. The Versuz was cool. But here's my reaction to it. And I've said this before, and I think this Versuz proved it. Joe was the last singer that got put out in R&B. After Joe, it became a bunch of people who hum with okay voices. You got to see here, Donnell Jones sounds great on record, but his voice is okay. Just like Usher, okay. I've been saying this now since I've had this channel. Joe was the last singer. When I say singer, I mean in the lineage of Gerald Levert, in the lineage of Marvin Gaye, in the lineage of A. Levert, in the lineage of Luther, Teddy Pendergrass, in the lineage of Billy Eckstine, in the lineage of Jackie Wilson, Joe Turner, Stevie Wonder, people who can really belt out a song. Rhythm and blues started getting stripped down, like I told y'all before, in the 80s. Here's something I've been seeing from all of these verses that's been going on. And this is what I've been seeing, and it's proving my point I've been saying. When we got to the 2000s, rhythm and blues was done. It was done. It was hanging on by a string in the 90s. But by the 2000s, the shit's done. Somebody said Carl Thomas. Carl Thomas whined like a pussycat. I'm trying to hold on to. Now, I will tell you this. John Legend sounded like a knockoff Carl Thomas. But no, Joe was the last one that we had that really belted out his music. There was a switch that happened. In the 80s, they started pulling instrumentation away. In the 90s, they started really devaluing music production. I would love to have heard Joe with 70s production. I would love to have heard Joe is somebody that could have been around in 1975, 65, 55, 45. Joe can sing in any generation. Joe can sing in any generation. When you get to the 2000s, and this was done intentionally, male and female side, they wanted singers that can sing songs that everybody else felt that they can sing along with too. They basically wanted sing-along singers by the time we got to the 90s into the 2000s. Yeah, Anthony Hamilton could sing, but Anthony Hamilton was a background singer. He was with Anthony Hamilton. Who did Anthony Hamilton sing background for, people? Chat, help me. Who did Anthony Hamilton sing background for? But Anthony Hamilton is most definitely a singer. Glenn Lewis was a better singer than Carl Thomas. Right. Yeah, John Legend is a knockoff Lionel Richie. When I heard John Legend coming, it was just like, okay, who's who's this dairy cow looking motherfucker here? They brought in Carl Thomas and not Carl Thomas. They brought in John Legend and Alicia Keys to stifle the neo soul movement. That's why they were brought down. Kenny Lattimore is 90, so he can sing. Yes, Kenny Lattimore comes from the 90s. He can sing. Yes. Music Soul Child, now out of all these singers that we're talking about, the Music Soul Child's music was my favorite out of everybody. To my personal favorite is Music Soul Child out of all these artists from the 2000s. He's my personal favorite. On the male side, music is my favorite. He's the one I played the most. I Just Want to Sing, Soul Star, all those, that album run with Carvin Hagen's on writing, but music can't sing that well. He's not a power singer. He can sing, but music was not the strongest singer. But music had a vibe about him. So I want y'all to understand that we can love an artist, we can really like an artist and still tell the truth. Music is easily my favorite artist, my favorite male artist post 2000. Music Soul Child is easily my favorite male artist post 2000. But Music Soul Child is not a strong voice. Two things can be true at the same time. Music Soul Child made great music. Yeah, Merry Go Round. Mary, how could you go? Oh, but he's not the best singer. Let's just tell the truth. That's it, Woody Mays. Music Soul Child has soul. He had that soul about him. That's what made him so strong. Was Music Soul Child's soul, his groove. You know what I mean? Baby girl, your body's picture perfect, and there ain't a brick that's missing. You look like your mama raised you on them grits and chicken. Y'all know that song is right after that's from the second album. The song Baby Girl by Music Soul Child. Love that song. Womanopoly by Music Soul Child. Great lyrics. Carvin Hagen's. I met this girl on Baltic Ave. You could tell how she walked. She was from Park Place. I asked what she doing on the side of town. She said she had some taxes to pay. So I took a chance in advance to go to find out more about her because I know that there's the way I'm missing some goddamn lyrics, but y'all know the song I'm talking about. But it was great. That was some good music, but let's just dial it back. A lot of your Donnell Jones, no one's really moved now looking back at Donnell Jones 20 years later the way they look back at Al Green's 20 years later, the way they look back at Marvin Gaye, the way people look back at Teddy Pendergrass 20 years after their run. Nobody's doing that. Why? Because when we got to the 70s, we got to the 90s, the production value was stripped down so much and the voices just weren't that strong. And they had to slowly lower the quality of voices so that you can accept Drake. People call Drake R&B. Drake's not R&B. If Drake is R&B, it's rhythm and bullshit, not blues. So people can accept Chris Brown singing through auto-tune. So people can accept on a woman's side, Kalani. The singers, and this is why I appreciate Joe so much, people who actually sing have been blackballed out of music. And I personally think that's a shame. That's a major problem in my opinion. Why is it that music is something that is made for people with voices, but those with voices can't get a job in music? Why is that? It's because music isn't no longer about music anymore. And it hasn't been about music in 30 years, 40 years. Music hasn't been about music in 40 years. And yesterday I had not an interview, but I talked with Stevie Wonder's sound engineer. We had a long conversation. A man who used to be sound engineer for Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Rick James. And he told me so many stories. And he got to tell me a lot of stories about my father-in-law that I never knew. Because I wasn't around when Mr. Carmichael was in studio. He was retired from music by the time me and my wife started hanging out as friends. But there seems to be no place for people with singers in rhythm and blues. And we're forced to listen to these people with mediocre marginal voices. And around the time, and I noticed this live, I remember this happening all while I was in high school and college. I noticed that Donnell Jones, John Legend, Usher, when that class started to get pushed to the front, it was like, these dudes got some cool music, but they singing ain't really, it's always cool. Same thing when Beyonce, Alicia Keys, when they got pushed to the front, it's like they can sing, but they can't sing. When you get to the 2000s, you're now dealing with the highest rated singers are B singers, B-level singers. There are no A-level singers anymore. And if there were A-level singers, they weren't allowed to belt their notes out the way they could. A-level singers were forced to suppress their talent down to a B-level. And then when you get to the late 2000s, into the 2010s, the best singer you're going to find is a C-level singer. And that's just a fact. Yeah, Bilal, they suppressed Bilal's career. Bilal is a singer. Bilal is a singer. But Bilal's career got suppressed. Bilal got relegated. Now, don't get me wrong, Bilal still made great music on his own, but it wasn't promoted. And the biggest Bilal tracks ended up becoming tracks that he was a feature on for rappers or other singers. And in this Versuz, we really started to see that. And we saw it with the Versuz last month, Pretty Ricky and what's the other group? B2K. I didn't even watch that Pretty Ricky versus B2K Versuz because I thought both Pretty Ricky and B2K were novelty groups back then. You couldn't fool me. I was in high school when B2K dropped. Back in high school, I was saying, who are these novelty niggas right here? Yeah, Mary J. C. Singer. So as time goes along, I don't call too much music from the 2000s classics. They were hot songs for the time. But they're still better than what's in a lot of today's popular R&B too. Y'all love Raheem Devine. When you said Nicholas Caldwell, so that's Nicholas Caldwell. Yeah, that's a good one right there. Was his uncle, and before he passed, he had everything but R&B. He thought that they didn't want singers; they wanted instant noodle R&B. That's right. Now Al Green, I get that. Al Green was not a power singer, but Al Green had his own voice and his own tone, and he sounded unique. Out of all the great singers of the 70s, Al Green probably did have one of the weaker voices as far as some of the stuff. But Al Green was a lot like Musiq Soulchild. Well, one, he sang better than Musiq Soulchild, but Al Green has soul. You listen to Al Green for the soul. Al Green's the appeal to Al Green was a level of soul and gospel that he sang with. Al Green brought the church. It's like these days, after Musiq Soulchild definitely soul. Nowadays, we don't get soul nor a good voice. Mary J. Blige couldn't sing that good, but she has soul. Yeah, Chris and Michelle could sing her ass off. Yeah, Al Green make you feel. Jaheim was soulful. Jaheim was soulful. Jaheim was soulful. And now you have October London. I have no clue who the fuck October London is as a singer. One day he's trying to be Marvin Gaye, trying to sound like Marvin Gaye. The next day he's trying to sound like Teddy P. The next day I don't know who the fuck October London is. Yeah, Kim was another singer. I'll give Kim. Kim was one of the few post-2000 singers that could really sing. But let me tell y'all something. What they call quote-unquote neo-soul, that's another category. Kim, D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott. That's where real music was happening in the 2000s. The quote-unquote neo-soul sound. Neo-soul is just where rhythm and blues would have been had they not disrupted it with that 90s pop bullshit. Quote-unquote neo-soul, that's where the real music was happening. Anthony Hamilton, that's where the real music was happening in the 2000s. I'm dealing with the pop lane. I'm talking about the pop lane. I'm speaking on the pop lane. The reason, looking back, people see Erykah Badu and Jill Scott's name still big now. That's because they made real music. But at the time, 2000, 2001, they weren't trying to give Erykah Badu and Jill Scott that shine. They weren't pushing them. They were othered. They would get one song. Erykah Badu, Jill Scott may get one song, but they're gonna flood you with Alicia Keys. They was gonna flood you with Destiny's Child. They was gonna flood you with Usher. They was gonna flood you with that other stuff. Yeah, Vivian Green. Yeah. Vivian Green was somebody whose career got stifled. I can't say Maxwell opened the doors. D'Angelo opened the doors. Maxwell came in the doors that D'Angelo opened. D'Angelo's the one that opened the doors for that whole sound. It's with respect to Angie Stone. Angie Stone is the one that put that whole thing together. And it was D'Angelo that opened the doors with Brown Sugar in 95. Because in 94, 95, there's almost, outside of Mint Condition and Tony, there is no live bands in the mid-90s. It was D'Angelo, when he came with Brown Sugar, he brought live instrumentation back. He brought background singing back. He brought horns back. D'Angelo is who opened the door for later on Lauryn Hill, later on Erykah Badu, later on Maxwell. D'Angelo opened that door. D'Angelo opened that door. And after D'Angelo opened that door, is the ear. See, in 95, we're still growing up in I'm in high school, but we're in a household to where our parents are still playing 70s music. So our generation, I'm 45, my generation still has some kind of a connection to that real singing. So although we like what we're hearing on the radio, D'Angelo brought us back to what our parents was listening to, kind of. Somebody said, "Can we ban?" No, don't ban Mr. Big. Y'all gotta understand that dude, Mr. Big Hands 3. He's retarded. Don't ban him though. He's a supporter. He comes in. You know, he's always going to be contrary to what I say. That's somebody who just, if I say the sky is blue, that dude's gonna say the sky is. He gonna say it's red. So y'all can let him talk. Y'all can just go ahead and ignore him. I remember this is one of the few good things since Steve. I mean, when the Steve Harvey Morning Show started, it started here in LA before it went nationwide. And it was Steve Harvey that really pushed. It was Steve Harvey that really pushed for Jill Scott. Because Jill Scott is it the way that it would get played, but it wouldn't really get played. They weren't really putting Jill Scott in the rotation. I remember Steve Harvey saying, I will get fired. If I can't play her, at least he said, I gotta play all this other stuff, and I can't play no Jill Scott. Jill Scott, I mean, Steve Harvey put his job on the line when he was on 92.3 The Beat here in LA to get Jill Scott played more. So if you're born in the 90s and raised by older people like me, you're grateful for that. Yeah. Lettucey was othered. They didn't give Lettucey her shine. Lettucey was othered. Lettucey was playing local clubs around here in LA back in the 90s. She didn't really get a real push. So yeah. Somebody said you guys on the West Coast are a little biased. You guys in New York are biased. So what? Tough titty. Go suck a dick and get over it, nigga. You guys on the West Coast are biased. I'd be damned if I hear that shit from somebody from New York. You niggas is biased against other boroughs. Fuck out of here. Yeah, Lettucey came at a time that the music industry stopped valuing music. Let's see, is this police chase still going on? Looks like the police chase is over with. Oh shit, the police chase ended. We're gonna get to the main story in a second, but it looks like the police chase ended. How did it end? We're going to get to the main story with Billy Carson in a moment. But I see here the police chase ended. What we're going to do is we're going to do a late night live tonight where we're going to go deeper into this R&B talk. For real, don't believe me. I rock with you too. I rock with New York. I rock with everybody. But somebody come in talking about my city, they're going to get the truth today. That wasn't directed towards you, my brother. That was directed to that other guy. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? This nigga tried to go the wrong way on the freeway. Oh, he ran into a police car and got airbagged. Oh, this is how police chase ended. Okay. That's a white dude. Okay, this is how the police chase ended. To give complete coverage. Or it's a Mexican. Somebody. Fuck him up. They fucking him up. That's not a black person. So yeah, go ahead and fuck him up. Ooh, I'm telling y'all, oh, they on Nordhoff too? It's hot. It's like over 100 degrees out there right now. Man, anytime somebody messes up traffic, I ain't cool. Fuck them. I usually root for the criminal to get away unless the criminal messes up traffic. Okay. So they fucked him up. And that pavement is hot. That's a white dude. Man, why ain't he still on the pavement? They should still have him on that hot pavement. Come on now. Why y'all pick him up so soon? If he was black, he'd still have a knee in his neck. Man. They should still be beating his ass right now. They should still be beating his ass. I said do it for Rodney King. Can't get him to say he run like a Mexican. Well, I'm not going to argue with you right there. So, well, the police chase we started the show off with, we see now, he was freebasing. Look at him. Was he freebasing? Well, the police chase that we started the show off with, we see how it ended. I told y'all, LA Wild. This is how it ended. One more time, then we'll get to the main topic. This is how it ended. Yeah, you messed up traffic. Yeah, it's time to get your ass beat. So we see, yeah. Somebody said he ran like a Mexican. So this is how the police chase ended. Yeah, he do kind of run like a Mexican. He kind of do. Boom! 2 to the gut, 1 to the head. That's that classic LAPD right there, boy. They fucking him up right now. They like, hey, cover it up so the cameras can't see it. Let's fuck him up. They fucking him up, homeboy. Well, now we see how the police chase ended. And that right there takes us to the main story. In the main story today, we're going to talk about Billy Carson, his ex. Now, she didn't say he did anything fraudulent. In this interview, she's talking about her fraudulent lifestyle.
I mean,
and her being the scammer. He said, "Hammer." They zoomed out down cold. Yeah. Yeah, man. So here we go. Billy Carson's ex. Y'all know who Billy Carson is, right? If you don't know who Billy Carson is somebody who, when I did my show last week, I talked about all the frauds and scammers that come around black people in the so-called conscious community. Billy Carson is somebody who is really big in he does like the ancient aliens civilization kind of shows. He does all that kind of stuff. He wrote books on the Emerald Tablet. He says he's a musician. But Billy Carson basically is somebody who always has something for sale. Okay? He's a guy that uses spirituality. He uses people who uses spirituality, UFOs, metaphysics to sell courses. And I used to watch him, but I never I used to be a subscriber for his Unite the 99 app. He has his own channel, Forbidden Knowledge. And he has good information. Oh, he said he live now talking about a Sphinx was found. And the reason why I'm doing this today is I used to watch him fairly regularly, and I actually bought one of his business courses just to see. I'm somebody I'll spend some fuck you money just to find out. And this particular course that I bought from Billy Carson back during the pandemic, I think I spent this course was like $700 or $800. And when I bought it, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I bought it. Because once I got to buy it, I got to see. Basically, I bought a bunch of stuff that I could find on Google. And then he started coming around Brother Rich's channel a lot. Black Magic 363. Salute to Black Magic 363. I think that Brother Rich is an honest dude. I can't blame him for having Billy Carson on. I can't blame that because Billy Carson has a huge following. If you talk to me in 2020, 2021, I would have had Billy Carson on my channel too. If 5 years ago with that huge following, you know? Yep, I purchased the Billy Carson Emerald Tablet book too. And that's when I purchased that book and that course, that's when I really started to see through it. Because when I purchased Billy Carson's compendium to the Emerald Talents, there were far too many misspelled words. And there was a whole lot of misspelled words, a lot of bad punctuation. And that actually made me look at Billy a little bit differently. It really did. It made me look at him a little bit differently. Because personally, I was like, I understand, my brother, you the metaphysical teacher, but you couldn't pay for spell check? And I was really concerned for Billy when he married her. This is when I had to really start taking a step back from watching a lot of his content. When Billy Carson brought her around, my first thought was, she looks like a Vegas showgirl. And let me tell you something, fellas, this is true. You can look to avoid it all you want. But as a man, you will be judged by your woman. You can't avoid it. People will look at you and what you're talking about, and they will look at if what you're saying is true and genuine, your woman's going to reflect that. That's just what it is. If you're somebody that teaches, spreads information, lives a certain lifestyle, you cannot live the lifestyle of a health nut and your woman comes in looking like Precious, that movie from the movie Precious. No one's going to believe you. When you come around talking about, I'm here to help black people, and I'm into this spiritual world and all of this, and you're selling these $1,000 courses, if you come with a woman that looks like she serves cocktails at Caesar's Palace Casino, you're going to look at that person funny. And when Billy Carson brought her around, I was like, oh, I'm trying to stick with you, Billy, but this girl look like problems. All right, Mr. Big Hands, you've had enough. If you continue to talk about the last topic and throw the subject off, my mods will time you out because we are tired of, we've moved on and you don't get the attention in the chat. So mods, if Mr. Big Hands keeps talking about shit, I gave him verbal warning. If he keeps talking about other stuff that what we're not talking about in here, and he keeps bringing up all that other shit, you have the right to give him 5 minutes. And if he comes back after 5 minutes and keeps talking, you have the right to give him a full 1 day ban. All right. I'm just giving you a warning. We moved on, Mr. Big Hand, so you can either roll with us or you could just get timed out. It's up to you. It's up to you. So, somebody said Sue Young. So let's get into this right here. Let's get into this. Again, I'm not calling Billy Carson a fraud. I'm just saying I'm just saying personally, I stopped watching him a while ago because a lot of it, every time he came on, brother, I was a big fan of Black Magic 363 in that channel. I like that channel. I like that channel a lot. And personally, I felt that he was using Brother Richard's channel as an ATM. And those of us, I was like, I like to watch Brother Richard's channel for metaphysical information. But it seemed like every time Billy Carson would go over to his channel, he only came over to sell something. And if you go as rich as you talk about, you ain't got to be selling something all the goddamn time. So you get him talking about her. So I want y'all to listen to her. She's talking about this is her talking about this is before she got with Billy. This is who this woman was before she got with Billy Carson. From modeling to credit card fraud. Listen to this part.
Like, this is easy. Let's freaking do this. I'm like, oh my God. So I got my stuff, walked out. So they ended up giving me a credit card.
Let me go back a little more.
Credit card had my stores, right? And we would swipe. They would give me a credit card. And they would tell me to swipe for like a Visa, either a Visa gift card or a Nordstrom. Nordstrom was always the thing because like I told you, you could always go buy something with that gift card and get cash.
This is her before Billy Carson got with her. Personally, I can look at her and tell that, okay, yeah, she ain't 100. That was my first thought when Billy Carson brought her around. This interview just confirmed what I had already thought when I looked at her.
It was always Nordstrom. And it was, for some reason, those would hit always more so than the Visa gift cards. So my go-to was always the Nordstrom. So they ended up giving me a credit card, and that credit card had my name on it. I remember the first time I ever swiped. So I wasn't nervous. And so I went in and I did what I was told, and I got 3 Nordstrom gift cards. So it was $600. And so I brought them up to the register. I put them down. I swiped, and boom, it went through. And I'm like, that was so easy. Like, this is easy. Let's freaking do this. I'm like, oh my God. So I got my stuff, walked out the car. I'm like, here you go. I got it. They were like, all right, well, let's go to the next store. This time I want you to get 5 gift cards. So they gave me a different card, and it had my name on it. And they were like, all right, go and get 5 gift cards this time. So I went in the store. I got 5, so it amounted to be $1,000. Got the 5 gift cards, swiped, it went through. Boom, I'm gone.
I see you, Cali girl, saying you don't know none of these people. Stick with us because we have I try to give a background, but even if you don't know these people, it's still a larger lesson that we're gonna talk about here when it comes to her. I'm just not all right. But this is her talking about these people that she was with before she got with Billy that she was doing credit card fraud with.
I'm like, this is easy. Let's like really do this, you know? So they started giving me cards with my name on them. They would print me like 5 a day. And we would go.
So they're taking stolen information. They're putting it on a card. The card is being printed on a thermal printer with your name on it, the plastic card,
yes.
saying it's a Visa or a MasterCard, whatever.
Yes.
And it's using your ID. But on the back strip,
yeah,
it's actually the card holder's name, but they don't see that at the point of sale machine or whoever's swiping the card. They don't see that.
Right.
And if they were to look at the card, it'd have your name on it, and you could show them your ID.
Exactly.
Right.
And here's one even better. So this is how they got good. And this is later down the line in the hustle. So at first, it was just my name on the card. But probably a year into it, they were able to print the last 4 digits of whatever credit card information was on the strip. So when the people, this is why I was so confident, when the people would check to see if the last 4 matched the account, it would always match. This was after a year. This is when it started maybe getting a little bit more hot. Because at first when I was doing this, like, remember, way back, there was no such thing as credit card fraud. Yeah. It was like, oh, nothing. So I remember they started to get better at the fraud because they were like, no, it's getting a little bit more hot. So I was not scared because eventually I was carrying cards with the last 4 and my name. Tell me that I stole a card. Tell me. How are you going to tell me that? You know, what? Really, sir? You know, like that was my attitude. So
that's her background. That's her background before she got with Billy. That's her background before she got with Billy. And let me tell y'all something. There's going to come a point, and we'll get to it later, where, because I saw somebody in the chat say, could this be why Billy dismissed her? Billy knew her background story before he married her. She's going to say so much later on in the interview. And personally, if you somebody speaking metaphysics and spirituality, I understand we can all have a business, somebody that we run across that's probably a scammy and you might not pick it up. But this is who we chose to marry. You choose to marry somebody, in my opinion, there's a lot of energy matching going on right there. And especially if you're somebody that speaks spirituality. If you're somebody that speaks spirituality, you got to know better than to marry. I ain't talking about get with. Everybody can make a mistake getting with somebody. But this is who Billy Carson decided to marry. We can call him Silly Carson. You're right. She's most definitely speaking with a black accent. Right. You hear her speaking with this. Now let's keep going. Somebody said, yeah, he was on that frequency. Yeah, frequency is real. If I get into an elevator with her, I'm taking my wallet out of my back pocket and putting it in my front pocket. Put it like that.
Which was very surprising to me. But my lawyer told me that, with Fed cases, you have to have like 99% evidence and like conviction, or else they're not even going to mess with it, right? But I'm like, what about the Secret Service? So I was always scared the feds were going to come pick this case up throughout the whole thing, but it stayed in state, right? So I remember during the pregnancy, I was working as a host in a strip club, and I was pregnant, right? And I would try to make the strip club.
Jackson said she paid her bill. She paid bills for the Wu-Tang Clan. You a fool. But did you hear what she just said? She also worked as a host in a strip club.
I remember during the pregnancy, I was working as a host in a strip club, and I was pregnant, right? And I would try to make the strip club money. So I would have, I was very attractive, and I was sitting behind a desk. So I would have
worked while she was pregnant with her ex. She worked as a host in a strip club. I'm not over here. I'm not shaming people who work in strip clubs. We're just building a profile. We're just building a profile of, again, at no point in this part are we talking about Billy. This is before she got with Billy, making it very clear. This is before she got with Billy. But now it's all making sense to me. Because Billy always talked too fast for my liking. Yeah, all you gotta do is go ahead and take colloidal silver. And you take colloidal silver, and then you'll open up your mind to your third eye. And when you open your mind to your third eye, you get you go ahead and then you go to Egypt, and you come to Egypt with me. I've been in the pyramids, and I've been all the way down in the pyramids. No one else has been in the pyramids. I went all the way down there, and when I was in the pyramids, I talked to Thoth himself. Thoth? Yeah. So the Egyptians called him Tahuti, and I spoke to Thoth himself. And then when I left the pyramids in Egypt, I went down to Memphis and I saw the big library. And for $4,500, I'm going to go on another trip next year to Egypt, and everybody needs to come with me to Egypt. And it only costs $6,000. And what we're going to do is we're going to have limited space because it's going to be $7,000 for the trip to Egypt. And then we're going to go down, and I'm going to take you to the actual site where Thoth went down and he put up on an altar, and we're going to go to the actual altar. And then I know the Metal Netter. I read the Metal Netter. I'm going to translate the Metal Netter for you. And on the Metal Netter, I know because I speak Metal Netter. Oh, and I also speak Greek. I learned the language of ancient Greece, and ancient Greece is going to tell you about when you go down to Cairo. The old city's name wasn't Cairo. It wasn't Africa. It was Al-Kibalon before Africa. And then, then from there, we're going to leave Al-Kibalon, and then we're going to go to Greece, and that's going to cost you another $7,000. And then we're going to have another trip over there. And then after you do that, you can enter this raffle, and you can enter this raffle to get my old Rolls Royce. I had a Rolls Royce, and this Rolls Royce that I had, you can drive Billy Carson's Rolls Royce. All you have to do is enter this raffle. Brother Rich, get your subscribers. Just throw in $100 in this raffle, and you can ride my old Rolls Royce. Chat room. Chat room. Who remembers Billy Carson's Rolls Royce raffle? Who remembers this? Yeah, if you get a raffle, you get a chance to ride in my Rolls Royce. And then once you ride in my Rolls Royce, then I have another trip that we're going to take. And we're going to take this trip to Easter Island. And we're going to go see the heads in the Galapagos. We're going to see the Galapagos turtles. And then when we leave Easter Island, you're going to come back and you're going to get my Rolls Royce. And then we're going to take another trip. And we're going to take that trip to Uzbekistan. And in Uzbekistan, there was a UFO. And the UFO came down and it sat on top of this building. Actually, on top of the building, I know because I read it was in the Indus script, and they say the Indus language is not a real language. Well, I happen to know the Indus language, and by the way, I got this music over here that I'm selling, and then if you can meditate, and I can teach you how to read the Indus language, and then once you learn the Indus language, then we're going to go on another trip, and then for $950, there's a class I'm going to teach you, and in this class, we're going to see the Dark Knight satellite. You see, there's a satellite that circles the Earth all day, and in the circles of Earth, it sends messages back to the Horsehead Nebula. You know, there's the right there in the Horsehead Nebula. That's the area where God transmits radio signals from, and I know because I actually spoke to God. And God doesn't speak English. God speaks in Old Manor Nature, and God told me Himself. And then come and enter a raffle to get my Rolls Royce. Who remembers this? That's Billy Carson. And he has this very monotone, like he looks like, and he always look like he's sleeping. You know, yeah, it's very sleep. No facial expressions, and yeah. You know, he'll be talking about you can get my, he's very, yeah, you can get my Rolls Royce right there, and yeah. And you have people, like he's the most monotone. He looked like Tracy McGrady with no personality. So, yeah, he never blinks. Billy Carson be talking about the Anunnaki, and I be thinking, nigga, is you an Anunnaki? You don't blink, you don't smile. And mind you, the raffle and all that stuff was before he got married. She look like the Asian dancer on Soul Train, don't she? Y'all remember that one long hair Asian on Soul Train they used to dance all the time? This was before he married he married the showgirl. And then when he got with her, it was just kind of like, I used to really watch Billy. Cause somebody I really loved turned me on to him, so I gave him more of a chance than I would give most people. Because somebody I really love and adore and admire turned me on to him. So I would look past certain things, be like, I'm not buying that, but I'll still listen. Right. He's scamming with no personality. Yeah, we used to scammers being real slick, you know? We used to scammers having, you know, real cool, slick personality. This is the first nigga that allegedly, I'm not calling him a scammer, I wasn't there, but we just feel that we're just looking at his scamming wife, ex-wife, and she's admitting things, and so we're kind of judging based on by this sort of a guilt by association that we're doing right now. Oh yeah, like 19 Keys, man. I don't trust I remember because I like Red and Blue Pill. I used to listen to a lot of Red and Blue Pill. Let me say it like that. I used to listen to a lot of Red and Blue Pill on Brother Richard's channel, and they had that gold water, and I was buying that gold water, and at the time, then I found out that they were partners with 19 Keys. And then when I saw that they was partnered with the 19 Keys, because I never watched 19 Keys, so I didn't know Red and Blue were partnered with him because I never paid attention. Well, I paid attention to him. He just reeked. Okay, something wrong with this dude. When I saw that they were partnered with 19 Keys, I stopped buying it. I was like, yeah, they may still be cool, but this nigga's on that? Hey, I'm good on Goldwater. I ain't tripping on the pills, but especially Blue Pill and his 44. I like listening to Blue Pill talk about his 44 residents. But when I saw that they were with 19 Keys, I was like, I still fuck with you, Blue Pill, but that's your partner? Now listen to this part right here. This is where she gets into talking about Billy himself. Let's listen to Margaret Cho talk about being with Billy.
In order to scale this, like, you've hit your ceiling, right? I'm like, if you want to be up here, there's so many different things that need to get put in place. So I was like, I can really help you do that if you want, and he was like, absolutely. So I remember we had a meeting. We were sitting at the Ritz, and I went over, and I'm like, hey, what's your 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year goals? And we wrote them all down. And I'm like, oh, I've always done events throughout my life. When I was a chef, I felt bad because I felt like I was poisoning people with sugar. So I was like, how can I make this better? So I organized a couple charity events during that time, and they were big, very successful, And so I was pretty confident and comfortable in creating events and putting events together. So we ended up doing different events, and those were always.
Hey, Brian Barnes. Y'all read what Brian Barnes wrote. I'm not going to say it. Y'all read what he wrote. I ain't going to say it. I've seen it. I've seen me say certain things on this show because, and I know I'm not going to mention the mutual friend. We got a mutual friend who pointed them towards it this way. And I've seen me talk about certain things when it comes to music. Because they was talking about all that frequency and megahertz and 460 megahertz. And then stuff that I talk about on this channel, I saw it end up on Brother Rich's channel like the next week or the next day. And y'all in the chat, y'all would tell me. I would see it, but I would never say nothing. People in my chat, people that watch me, y'all would tell me. Because I would see it myself, but I don't say nothing. I don't say nothing. Because I can't say for sure. I cannot say for sure. But I will say thank you to people who listen to me. You guys pay close attention and y'all get back to me. I'm just not going to say nothing because I can't prove it. And at the end of the day, I say what I say because I need the information out there. I want people to have the information. I'm not one of these egomaniacs that got to be the harbor of all information. A lot of what I say musically, I know people take I know they're not just, I know a lot of people, it's a lot of people out there who are now starting to sound like me with bigger platforms that will never give me credit. And that's fine. That's whatever. I will continue to give credit when I learn from other people. That's what I'll do. I'll make sure I stay within my integrity. And if y'all feel that people are taking my talking points, let's keep going.
Fun for me. We did 2 extremely large award shows in Miami. Very successful, super fun. We did a whole, it was called the Conscious Awards. We had a Conscious Awards weekend.
I remember those Conscious Awards. Who remember the Conscious Awards? I remember, we're going to have a Conscious Awards because, we have to honor ourselves and no one else is going to honor us. We have to have a Conscious Award. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an event and we're going to have it over here and it's going to cost $900 to attend. I don't know how much it really costs, but it's going to be $300 for the Conscious Awards, and then we're going to stream it, and then we're going to stream it through this app, and then when you stream it through this app, it's going to be $50 per stream, and everybody needs to come. So I was like, this nigga's selling consciousness. I remember them Conscious Awards, and I remember watching because that's back in the days when I used to watch Brother Rich's channel every day. And again, salute to Brother Rich. I ain't got no issues with Brother Rich. I think Brother Rich has a very, very, very valuable channel. And I cannot fault him. When you bring on as many guests as Brother Rich, everybody ain't going to be 100. But overall, I feel that Brother Rich brings on people who are genuinely about their craft. So again, this is no indictment on Black Magic 363 at all. Because shit can happen. I'm pretty sure there are people I brought on, or people I don't bring on that many people on the channel, but there may be somebody I bring on in the future that we find out later on ain't shit. That's just the risk you run when you bring people onto your channel. So I'm not going at Rich at all. At all. And it's good people over at Rich's channel. King Simon, I got major love for King Simon. I love King Simon. You know, I love when Brother Rich interviews Sister Myra Moss. And there are people who Brother Rich brings who are for real, for real. So again, yeah, you can feel Brother Rich has a good heart. Now, sometimes I'll be listening, and this is no shade. I'm just going to crack a quick little joke. No shade to Brother Rich's channel. No shade at all. No shade at all. But I'm going to crack a quick little joke. I remember him talking about music a lot one time, and before he released one of his records. And the music itself is cool. Brother Rich makes cool music. But I remember hearing all this talk on the channel about the megahertz and the frequencies and that, and I was with it. Then I heard the music. That shit was all done on the keyboard, on a computer. It wasn't not one live instrument. And I'm like, how the hell can you have a metaphysical music with that kind of non-live production? Like, you could talk frequencies all day, but if you don't have a human touching the instrument, you're not going to get down deep into your spirit. How you can't get into your spirit deep through a computer. It's gonna take somebody playing an actual horn for that to happen. And I liked it, you know what I mean? But I was just like, yeah, nah, I'll take the same production because I think he's a good producer. Just you missing the point. And I've reached out, and I've had people who are very deep on that channel reach out on my behalf. But I don't think Brother Rich fuck with me. I've had people sending my stuff, people who are very close to him. They've been sending him some of my videos for 2 years now, 2 or 3 years. So I don't think Brother Rich fuck with me on the music tip. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all good. I still love his channel. But let's keep going. This is where she gets into talking about the vacations. She's about to make an interesting point right here. He said he used GarageBand.
It was a white party, white yacht party, and then a conference, and then a book signing, and then the award show. So, I mean, we were active and busy and doing a lot. I mean, produced a show called Anunnaki, Ancient Secrets Revealed, and, you know, I scheduled an entire movie theater tour. And I think we hit 6 cities. Every single city was sold out. I organized and scheduled the entire thing. You know, I mean, honestly, we worked 14 to 16-hour days constantly. There was no breaks. Even our vacations, they weren't vacations. No, we were filming content all the time. It was always for the look of things, you know?
Right.
It just make sure we get, like, I just never a real vacation. It was always like, let's go live. We gotta go live today. It was a lot. It was a lot.
That's her saying, because I follow Billy on Instagram, and I do remember him always talking about being on vacation and stuff. Like, look at his face. Look at his facial expression. If she is to believe, and she is a scammer, she's an admitted scammer, she's an admitted fraudster. So I don't believe everything that she's saying, okay? I'm going to say that flat out. I do not believe everything she is saying because she's an admitted fraudster. So she could be very much so lying for all we know. I don't know. But I do remember seeing him a lot on IG doing it for the gram. You got to watch out for those doing it for the gram. Just because people on vacation driving Rolls Royces and all that other stuff, it does not mean it is what it is. This nigga said, who was selling pineal gland supplements? Was it Billy Carson? DJ, was it Billy Carson selling pineal gland supplements? Oh, hell. Who was that? That's funny as hell. Pineal gland supplements. You can get down deep into your kundalini with this new record from me and Kambata and pineal gland supplements. You listen to this, and I remember that. Who was selling pineal gland supplements? Who? I hope it was Billy Carson, right? Who the fuck was selling pineal gland supplements? But I'm with you, C Diggs. Yeah, I still love Brother Rich channel, but I can't watch it for the music. I can't watch the channel when they talking about music, because that music, I'm like, yeah. And then you're right. I was hearing a lot of what I said get repeated by some of those guests. But Billy always rubbed me the wrong. Like he started really rub me the wrong way when he married this Vegas showgirl. Or it was Billy packaging them up with gold water. I like Dr. B Serious. But even Dr. B Serious, when Dr. B Serious get talking about drums, he'd be like, it's the drums from Africa. No, nigga. Them drums you playing is from Africa. The drums we use is from America. Yeah, I ain't buying no goddamn pineal gland nothing. So right there, she talked about that part right there, the vacations. And this is when Billy Carson really, really, really started to get exposed. When he had that debate. Y'all remember that debate? That debate is when it really got bad. Listen to her talk about the debate and what happened after that.
Page at that time. And I go over to my son's page and I'm seeing comments on my son's page, trolling. You know, I'm seeing like people, I'm going to kill you guys. I'm showing up at your office. I'm going to kill. I'm seeing craziness, right? And I'm like, this has got to stop, you know? So I was actually the first person to go live to address that situation after it had gone viral. I went live on Instagram and I'm like, y'all need to stop messing with my child. You know, because this has nothing to do with my child. Like, you guys are coming to attack the adults here, cool, but I was like, not my kid. So I was online, just, I don't know, into full protective mama mode. And so I started like going a little crazy on this live, and I'm like, you guys need to stop. And so, you know, long story short, the ending of the trip was not amazing. We ended up going home. He's strategizing on how to do a rebuttal for this, and I'm just kind of letting him be in his stuff because I'm just trying to figure out how I can protect my kid. I can delete comments. You know, I'm trying to play like cleanup because it's just such a crazy like situation. I was like, I don't know how to handle this. And I was like, how dare our neighbors take advantage of you like that, set you up, you know, try to make you look stupid, try to do all these things. So this is my perspective. So, you know, I'm in protective mode. I'm talking to our team because I was basically operations manager, right? So I managed everything operations. So I'm like on the line with my team. Now, meanwhile, he's preparing this rebuttal. So that evening, he decides to do this rebuttal. And I think the night prior to that, he went to our neighbor's house at 2:30 in the morning with a cease and desist. And I was like, I don't think you should do that. Like, you should probably not do that. You should just stay here.
Leave her.
But, you know, when a guy gets their mind set on something, it's really hard for a woman to stop the man from their mind being set on that thing. So I was like, very timidly, like, I don't think. But no, he ends up going. And then scaring the shit out of that family in the middle of the night. And then that ring cam footage ends up going viral. And I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm like, lovely. This is awesome. Now I got to clean that one up too. Awesome. This is just pouring gas on the fire, right?
For those of you who don't know, she's talking about when Billy Carson had a debate with this Christian dude. And he says he was set up. He totally got drenched in that debate. Billy Carson totally got done. Run up, get done up. Billy Carson totally got done up in this debate that he had with this white dude on Christianity. And He was saying that he was set up, he was done wrong. Whatever happened, it totally damaged his brand. And then he tried to go get the footage taken down. And she is telling the truth because I did see the Ring camera footage. And it was really that is when Billy Carson's whole bubble got busted. When he got done wrong, and not was it just done wrong, his response to it. I remember watching the response. And I almost did a live on it on this channel. But I was like, he looking so bad. I don't want to play a part in more of his downfall. Billy Carson basically went around like, why would I debate him? I have a Bentley. I have a Rolls Royce. I go on vacations. I have a $5 million house. Who remembers Billy Carson's response? Yeah, he said he was sick the night of the debate, but he wasn't sick the day of his response. They said he was, and I'll take it. Okay, you were sick during the debate. I understand. I get it. But when that response happened, I watched that response live. He wasn't sick then. And Billy Carson went into bragging about, I've had 3 Bentleys in my life. Has he ever, with his monotone face, I've had 2 Bentleys in my life. Has he ever had one? I drive a $5 million house. I have a $5 million house. And he's going to debate me and tell me, no, he can't debate me. He's just somebody that wanted what I have because I'm somebody, I've flown in a private jet before once in my life. Yes, and I've actually been to private islands. I've been to Turks and Caicos. I've been to Fiji. I've been underwater, and I've gone to the underwater pyramids in Japan, and I've snorkeled with the sharks, and I've gone to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, and I've walked. Matter of fact, I walked to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro with not even an air tank, just with my own 2 feet. I didn't even have to climb because I called Tahuti, and Tahuti came and got me a magic carpet, and he flew me to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And then when I came down from the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest point in Africa, I went down and I rode the Nile River. And no, I didn't even need a boat to ride the Nile River. I sat and I walked on water. I walked onto the Nile. And it was Tahuti, and it was Toth, and it was Alkebulan, and it was Akhenaten, and Queen T. She allowed me to walk on the Nile River, and I walked on the Nile River, and I didn't even have a boat, and I walked the Nile River from ancient Sudan all the way up to Cairo, and then when I got to the Mediterranean Sea, I drank the water, but when I drink water out of the Mediterranean Sea, I have these special filtration things in my lungs to where when I drink salt water, it turns into clean water. And I'm gonna and for $15.99, you can take a class on how to drink salt water and pray to the Spirit and pray. And all you have to do when you drink the salt water, you just pray to the Spirit of Ma'at, and the Spirit of Ma'at balances the salt content with the oxygen content, and the water turns into pure water. But I can do that, you know what I mean? Because I'm Billy Carson, and yeah. So yeah, who is he to beat me in a debate? And then after I finished drinking salt water and the salt water turned into clean water, I took that clean water and I turned it into holy water. And then from holy water, I turned it into wine. I don't have to go to the south of France to get my wine. I'm able to grow wine in Florida. I get wine from the oranges out here in Florida. And yeah, I went underwater into Bimini Road. And I snorkeled underwater with Bimini Road. I didn't even need an oxygen tank. I just went down to the bottom of water, and there's this special thing that if you pray to Toth can expand your lungs, and if you take my class for $7.99, I can show you how to pray to Toth, and when you pray to Toth, you can get into the water, and you can go and ride with the fishes, and you can go down there with the dolphins, and you will not get suffocate. You will go gills, and if you take my class for $699, it's going to show you how to get a prayer, and I'm going to offer you a prayer booklet. And in this prayer booklet, you can turn to page 58, and on page 58, it's going to show you how you can transmute your lungs into gills. Yeah. Now listen, this is where it all comes together. Listen to this part right here.
Tie myself into these toxic situations so I could hide. You know, I could hide who I am because I was too scared to be seen, too scared to stand in front, too scared to have this be mine. Because if this is all mine and everybody's looking at me. If it fails, then I'm a failure, right? So that's kind of what I learned about myself through this. So, I mean, in this rebuilding process, it has been the most beautiful process for me. I launched my podcast last year in June. It's called Unlimited with Elizabeth Carson. And I wanted that name Unlimited because I felt so limited my whole life. It's like, oh, you can't talk about your past because that's going to make me look bad, you know? So it's like my whole goal with my...
That's her saying she's been told you could not talk about your past. Well, she's talking about her past. And it's making Brother Billy Carson look like an ass. So this is from the Matthew Cox channel. You can go and watch it. I'll put the link in the chat room right now if you want to see this whole interview. Yeah, she's still using his name. Again, I don't take everything she says as complete fact because she's an admitted fraudster. She's an admitted hustler. So I do not take everything she says as fact. I'm sure she webbed facts in with lies. I can't say for certain because I wasn't there. I wasn't there. But based on how she's moving, I'm sure that we can conclude and safely say that I'm pretty sure there were quite a lot of lies in here too. She's a hustler. She's a hustler. And she probably still hustling his name. She probably hustling his name. But I will say this, as a man, you do get judged by the woman you marry. And when you marry these kind of fraudsters, these kind of hustlers, no matter how you feel, it will come back to you, even if you're divorced. I remember the first time Billy Carson brought her around, and that was the first time I started being like, well, I was already kind of feeling a certain way because I had already bought one of his courses, and I was a subscriber on United 99. And I was like, So I'm not here to say that Billy Carson is a fraudster. I don't know. No one. He didn't defraud me. I willingly paid $800 for his class, and I'm glad I did. I don't think it was fraud, but I'm glad I got to look behind the mirror and see that, okay, this ain't what it's cracked up to be, from my opinion. You know what I mean? But that's how I am. Sometimes I don't mind. That's why you make money. You live and you learn. I remember when I stopped tithing at church. Sometimes you got to pay to see what it is. And for the money that I paid, that $800, that wasn't shit for me when I got that. See how much, that wasn't nothing. So it was one of those situations where it's like, okay, I paid to really start to really look closer. I'll never forget when I stopped tithing in church. This is the guy that made me stop tithing in church. Right here, Mike Murdoch. My church brought this dude here. Not here. My church, this dude used to come to my church sometimes. Mike Murdoch. Hold on. I just want to get a picture of him. He looked like he's from Sherwood Forest. I should have known something, but at the time, I was like 19, 18. This is back when I used to go to church every day. Every Sunday. This is back when I used to go to church every Sunday. I was like 18 or 19. And when I was 18, 19, I used to be somebody that I tithe. I would give my tithes and offerings every Sunday at church. I would give my 10%. I really did. I was a good Christian when I was a Christian. I was a good Christian. All through my teen years, when I first got my jobs, I would give 10% of my income to the church. So one day this dude comes around. He comes to the church, right? I'm like 19, 20. This is before I remember it's before I turned 21. And he said he wanted everybody, he comes to a black church, and a white man, especially back in the 90s and the 2000s, a white man could get off at a black church. And he was like, if everyone writes a check, he did a sermon. Mike Murdoch did a sermon on giving, and it talked about giving to the rich. And he said, if people here now write a check for $300, and within 3 months, God is going to give you a blessing you have never seen. And if you write a check for $300, and the $300 check will show you that tithes and offering do work. God is going to bring down a blessing from heaven that you have never seen, the likes of which you have never seen. And I'm 19 years old. My mom had taught me to give at church, and I had been tithing since I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. Told y'all before, I was a good Christian. Man, I wrote that $300 check, and I'm glad I did. Probably the best $300 I spent. Probably the best $300 I spent before the age of 21. So glad I wrote him that check. Because I was real deep in, you're right, belief is a crazy thing. I was a stone cold Christian at that point in my life. I'm telling you right now, I would go to the club, be in the club 3-4 nights a week. I've been in the club Saturday night, coming into church still. I'd be getting in from the club at 5 in the morning. I was still going to be up at 7 to go to church and play the drums at this time in my life. And I wrote that $300 check. And I put it on my calendar. The 90 days that he said. Mind you, I'm super Christian at this point. And then that 90 days came. Man, didn't shit happen. Man, I was like, and I kind of felt funny after I wrote it. I was like, man, didn't the motherfucking thing happen? I was like, damn. Mind you, I'm super Christian. I'm caught up in belief. That's why till this day, I'll talk stuff, but I don't, if y'all notice, I don't go hard on people who are strong Christians because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to believe. I know what it feels like to truly believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and not have any kind of question and not question nothing. I was there. I was there. But that was the best $300 check that I had ever written. Because I really got to see it. It didn't make me angry with the church. It didn't make me bitter with the church. It didn't make me leave the church either. But it made me realize what I had believed my whole life. My mom started me. I started going to church every Sunday when I was 3. Every Sunday I was in children's church, starting at the age of 3. It made me realize that there are scammers out there, and church ain't all I'm making it to be. Maybe there's more to what I'm believing. Before then, I had blinders on. I'm sanctified, filled with the body of Christ. And you can't tell me nothing about Jesus. And anybody that comes in this pulpit is somebody who loves the Lord. And there's no way somebody's going to use the Lord's name in vain. This is how I lived my life at that point. There's no way that somebody is going to come into this pulpit, Zoe Christian Fellowship, Los Angeles, California, and not be spirit-filled, sanctified with the body in the body of Christ. So I felt comfortable giving this man that $300 check because my blinders were on like a motherfucker. Hell yeah, I was indoctrinated. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. Some people be like, man, I was never into that. Man, people, I always knew what was going on. I've been knowing what time it is since I was 7. You gonna have people like that? I'm not a lying ass nigga like that. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Hell nah. I completely believed. But after this dude, I got to see that, damn. And after that, I stopped tithing. Never tithed again. Now, I'm not going to say there weren't times that I felt compelled to drop $50 in a bucket because it was a good message that Sunday. And even now, if I go to a church, I don't go to church too much, but if I'm invited and the music's good and the preacher says a word that feels good, I'll drop 50 in the offering plate. If I feel the church is doing something positive, because there are a lot of positive churches out there, To this day, if I go to a positive church, and it's been years since I've been to church, but if I go to one, the last time I went to a church, I dropped a 50 in the bucket. Fuck it, it wasn't nothing. But this is when I really realized that, hey, maybe church ain't all it's cracked up to be. But it took me giving this dude $300, looking like Robin of Locksley. This nigga and I should have known better because he looks like the king in Robin Hood Men in Tights. I should have known when this dude had this dude Sherwood Forest goatee. He got a Sherwood Forest goatee. I should have known. That should have gotten me. The fact that he looks like a white Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops, I should have known. Don't he look like a white Levi Stubbs? When she was my girl. Let me see if I can find an older picture of Levi Stubbs. I was like, this nigga look like a white Levi Stubbs. I was like, I should have known better. When she was my girl. I should have known better. Shake me, wake me when it's over. Sugar pie, honey bun. You know that I love you. Can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Don't he look like a white Levi Stubbs? Rest in peace, Levi. Shake me, wake me when it's over. Ain't no woman like the one I got. Hey, quick side note. Do y'all know that they wanted Levi Stubbs to play Billy D. Williams' part in Lady Sings the Blues? But Levi Stubbs will not do that movie without his partners, without the Four Tops. Salute to the Four Tops. They stuck together the whole time, and he would not do Lady Sings the Blues because they didn't write a part in for the Four Tops. So Billy D. Williams ended up getting that role. But I should have known any white dude looking like Levi Stubbs from the Four Tops wasn't right. I should have known. I should have known. But sometimes you gotta pay to learn a lesson. And when this dude came around, I realized that tithing is a bunch of bullshit. Now give if you want to give. But giving 10% of your income to the church, and that's some bullshit. So I thank this white man, Mike Murdoch, for giving me a lesson in that. The same way I paid for Billy Carson's business course. I paid for Billy Carson's business course, and I realized that these people selling business courses online, you got to watch out for them. And when I saw Billy Carson marry this fraudster right here, I knew she wasn't shit. Call her metaphysical Jenny Mae. Yeah, you live and you learn. The whole thing is don't get burned twice. Yeah, bought sense is the best sense. Bought sense is the best sense. And I paid for some sense that day. Yes, I did. So yeah, folks. Everybody in these metaphysical streets ain't right. And this is where they get you. They get you in the metaphysical world because a lot of people in the metaphysical world just left the church world. And you're in that world because you're trying to find some truth. You know what I mean? You did some stuff and you find some things out about life and you're like, damn. You know? Bought sense, paid for sense is the best sense. So pay attention, folks, that's out there. And I usually don't like talking about stuff, but we finished talking about the Earn Your Leisure guys who went in on black society, and they still haven't apologized to black people, by the way. Watch out for that. Watch out for that BS. Trust your spirit. Yeah, we all been hustled. Yeah, Fetty Magazine, you've been hustled. I've been hustled. We all been hustled. I'm not here to, because y'all know me. I talk wisdom, and I talk a lot of wisdom, and I talk like I'm a teacher, and sometimes people can believe that I know a lot. And I don't know a lot. I just know what I know, and I trust my spirit and all that stuff. But anybody can be hustled. Just make sure that you're not hustled twice in the same way. You're right. Right, Chris C. Vesey. They don't have to apologize. We good. James, I appreciate the Cash App. Salute. I ain't even asked for Cash App today, but yeah. Y'all see the foundation y'all can donate to? Williams with the Cash App. Yeah. Yeah, they preying on our emotions. Right. Right. But what did I say in the cards? This is the year of not only exposure, but this is the year that people on the same team out each other and go at each other. That's the year that we're in. That's the time that we're in. And pay attention. Pay attention. All right? Tonight's a good warm night, so I think I'm gonna sit on my porch tonight, smoke a blunt, and get a drink, and we could talk to y'all and have a Q&A tonight. Somebody say you lived in LA 4 years, not 2 have been hustling. What living in LA got to do with it? You think hustling is exclusive to LA? Billy Carson from Florida, brother. She from what? Florida, living in Detroit, whatever. You don't get no scam in LA. You get scammed where you stand. Scammers are everywhere. Good question, DJ. Shamiracle. Is it Shamiracle? You said, Dwann, can you tell us one investment that worked for you? Let me tell you. The investment that worked for me is investing in myself. That's Khalil. I appreciate the Cash App. The investment that worked for me was investing in myself, knowing that I worked hard to become good at what I do, and to when I made money, investing in myself and in what I do. Investing in myself. I paid for my college degree cash. I paid cash for this. I worked in school and I worked hard, and I paid my way through college cash. That's an investment that worked for myself. I'm really good spiritually. I have a very good spiritual basis, and I'm a good speaker, and I'm good at relationships. So one thing that I invested in also was I'm good at relationships. Even though I already have a college degree, I took an online career college to become a certified relationship coach. I'm already good at breaking down relationships. When I went in and I took this course, it made me better at being a relationship coach. And look, I'm a relationship coach, and I've been married this year. I've been married for over 10 years now. I've been married for 11 years. Best friends with my wife. I've been friends with my wife for 30 years. I met her in 1994. So even though I'm a relationship coach. I'm a relationship coach that's actually fucking married, all right? I'm a relationship coach that I maintained a friendship with my wife going back to 1994 when we met at Overripe Middle School. And I invested in learning how to read cards because my trauma was so messed up from working with kids in the Department of Mental Health. I wanted to continue to work with people, but I could no longer mentally listen to people's story. I couldn't listen to people's story, and I'm already in tune spiritually. So I invested in becoming a really, really good card reader. But all these things invested in skills that I already have. So I invested in different classes to help cultivate internal skills that I already had. I got a reading from the King Simon, a numerology reading. And in King Simon's numerology reading, he was like, Dwann, you're a teacher. Your numbers, everything about your numbers say teacher. So I said, bet. Let me go ahead and invest in the things that's gonna help me become a better teacher. I invested in myself in creating this company. I invested for people who were scared, because you got them chumps out there that be like, men that do card readings and astronomy and astrology, that's all pseudoscience. Well, I can do it without the quote unquote pseudoscience too, bitches. For those of you dudes who be having little shit to say about card reading, I also was doing this. This was a company I invested in before I became a card reader. I was doing relationship counseling through this company first, before I started doing. I'm a communication, and also I do communication consulting for companies. Not a lot of companies. It's not like the company I do. I may only get 2 or 3 contracts a year. Not a whole lot. So I invested in this company, Breakthrough Advocate. This was the first company I created after leaving while I was still working at the Department of Mental Health. I did this as a side company, and then it became a full-on my own company. Conflict resolution workshops. If you notice, I'm not selling a course on this kind of stuff. I actually go into companies and do this work face to face. And I've worked with some of the largest unions in California. I've done stuff at Top Golf. I've done work at Sony Music. So if you ask me what's my best investment has been investing in myself. When I get money, I flip it into what I do. I love music. So I created my other company, my own music publication, because there are no music publications out there who do music like me. So instead of me being one of them bitch ass niggas that cry about what other people do, I say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna create what I feel is missing from music. So I invested in Incense-N-Ashtrays.com. Check out my interview with Taylor Graves. It's up right now, Incense-N-Ashtrays YouTube channel. So this is something else I invested in myself. I have a new interview coming up with Gangster from the Majestics Car Club. I got a new interview coming up with him real soon. And so I want y'all to check that out. So yeah, I invest everything you see me doing here. I put my own money up to do, up until a wise friend of mine said, Dwann, you do a lot of good stuff. So a wise friend of mine said, Dwann, you should open up a foundation and get people to help you with your mission. You're spending way too much of your own money. There are people out there that are willing to help you with what you do. And so I listened to a dear friend of mine, and I opened up this foundation, the Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. And you guys don't know, it took me tens of thousands of dollars because I didn't do this on my own. I paid consultants to help me. put this together because I wanted to make sure I was put together right with the government. I ain't fucking with the government. I ain't fucking with the IRS. So in order to put this foundation together, I never told y'all this, nor did I take money from y'all to put this together. But it cost me well over $10,000 to put this foundation together. About close to 15 grand in consultant fees. It took over a year. I spent well over 15 grand in consultant fees to make sure that this was put together right. I don't want no smoke from the government. So I could have put this together on my own. And I know it's going to be somebody saying, no, Dwann, you paid too much. You could have did that on your own. You goddamn right I could have did this on my own. But had I done it on my own, I probably still would be putting it together and it won't be already put together. I'm the kind of person that I will pay an expert to do what I can't do. So this cost me 15 grand of my own money to put together. At least. Probably more. Definitely more. But I'm going to leave it at 15 grand. And I didn't take any donations for that. I put that together out of my own dime. So everything you see me, all my companies that you see here, this is how I invest. I invest in me. So if you ask me what's the best investment you can make, the best investment you can make is in yourself, in your talents, in cultivating your talents. When I got my money from the money from the COVID money, when I got my COVID money, I paid for courses, real courses. I'm so glad I took that relationship coach course. I'm so glad I took that card reading course. Because I already kind of knew how to do it, but I was already naturally talented in this stuff. So I invested in courses. I went down to the small, and if you're in California, go to the Small Business Development Corporation company, this SBDC. SBDC, Small Business Development Center. They're nationwide, but they're really big in California. If you're in California, invest your time in the SBDC. If you want to put together a business and don't quite know how to, they have a bunch of free and cheap classes. The California SBDC. So if you want to open up a business and don't know where to go, I'm not going to be one of these weak ass niggas online and say, hey, come find my course. No, go to the California SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, and from here, you could take courses, you could take classes, and the classes are generally online, and they're generally either free or very cheap. This was the actual one that I went to. And you can get help for your business. If you have an idea, new business, growing business, they have workshops. And in these workshops, you don't need to pay no fucking Billy Carson. You don't need to pay these people. You can do webinars. Look, the basics of starting a business. Look, how much does that say here, people? It says free. And check and see if they have one in your city, in your town. But California, I will give California credit. California makes it to where you can get all you need, most of what you need in business without spending a dime. Your taxes already pay for this. This is already paid for out of your taxes here in California. Learn how to value a business. You see how much that webinar is? What does that say? Free. Learn 10 essential reasons to value your business, including exit strategy, planning, buying and sell agreements. As a matter of fact, I think I might sign up for this one. Learn to improve your personal credit and lending opportunities. For lending opportunities, negotiation strategies, tactics for small businesses. Free. And when you do have to pay, it should be like $30, $50, $20. Learn SEO, learn search engine optimization, September 2nd. How much is that, people? It's free. So if you want to open up a business in California, go to the Small Business Development Center, and they have a lot of stuff that's in person and online. Right? It's very complex to develop a nonprofit. I paid the money, and I paid that 15 G's out of my pocket, thankfully. And my consultants that I use, I'm so thankful that I use them. They done hooked me up with some other people that have used their services. So now I got other people I've done business that they do business with that we're working together on our foundations. When you pay, you get into the right, but make sure you pay for the right people. But yeah, y'all see this here. Most of these classes are free. Business planning, avoiding AI-related legal trouble for California small business. Learning how to hire, social media solutions. This is all for free in California. So going back to and that was a great question, whoever asked me that question. What should you invest in? You should invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. If you have a skill, invest in training that's going to cultivate that skill. If you have a business idea, invest in ways that in things like this that you can find for free that's going to help you develop that skill. Pay only when you have to. There will be times that you have to pay, but pay when you're certain. Yeah, check out all the work for real, DJ. Salute to you. Invest in yourself. You don't need a big old conference. You don't need somebody telling you how to do things and this and that. No, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, people. And everything ain't going to work out. There's certain things I invested in myself, it didn't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, most of the things that I invested in with myself didn't really go as far as I wanted it to. But everything that didn't work out stumbled me into something that did work out. That's what what happen. You'll fall forward. If you fail, you don't fail. You only fail forward. When you try, you fail forward. You may fall, but when you stumble and fall, you fail forward and you stand up. And when you stand up, you're going to end up being into something that you didn't see. That what you went through helped you get there. Okay? Invest in yourself. You don't need your Kundalini activated to get there. You don't need your pineal gland activated to get there. You don't need to become a health food nut to get there. Although I am making some moves right now to lose some weight. That's private. I'll be listening to some of them niggas on the Metaphysical channel. You can't listen to the Spirit of God if you eat meat. Because if you eat meat is visceral. It has blood. And it has the blood of animals that were put here and sent here by God. And if you eat meat, you can't hear from the Spirit of God. And if you do eat meat, you need to take this pineal gland activation that I'm selling you. Take this pineal gland medicine. And then when you take this pineal gland medicine, take this parasite cleanse that I'm selling you for $400. And when you take this parasite cleanse, don't eat meat, and take my activated charcoal drops, you're going to then hear from the Spirit. And when you hear from the Spirit, you're going to get all of these lessons. And then when you listen to music, it has to be at 432 megahertz, Because if your music is not at 432 megahertz, you're not going to hear from the Spirit of God. And I just released this new CD today. Every song is at 432 megahertz. And I take my activated charcoal drops and I take my parasite cleanse that I'm selling right now for $6.99. You take this, and then from there you hear from the Spirit of God. I can tell you right now, my out of shape, overweight ass hear from God every day. Nigga, I heard from God eating a ham sandwich. One day I was eating a ham sandwich and some French fries full of grease, drinking a soda, 20-ounce Pepsi, and God told me that, damn, Dwann, you really good at this music thing. You should really take this music history thing more serious. And I was like, you know what? You're right. That's another reason why I love Brother Rich's channel, but that's another thing that invest in my Patreon archive. My Patreon archive, I got some music history for your ass. Now, my music history Patreon archive, I'm not selling you that you can become a music historian like me. I'm not selling you shit. But if you somebody who are really, really, really interested in music history, if you choose, you can join my music university. And we gonna get some information for your ass. And it's information that you could pass down, but it's also information that you could verify. And if it's something that you can't verify because it's a story that I learned directly from somebody, then I'll tell you that. My music history, my Patreon is voluntary for those who are curious into music history. And for those who are curious, I want to go deeper into some card readings. That's what that's for. Yeah, like that's one reason why I had to pull back from a lot of the metaphysical channels. You can't hear from the Spirit of God if you eat meat. Nigga, I'm sitting there with a pork rib in my hand, like, for real? I can't hear from God? Well, you won't reach your highest frequency unless you take this cleanse that I got right here, eat it with 2 watermelons, 1 orange, and a persimmon, and take these activated cold drops that I got right here and listen to music at 432 frequencies, megahertz, not gigahertz. Kiss my ass. Let me tell y'all right now, the Spirit of God is with you at all times, no matter what you eat. Your higher self is right there with you. Now, if you want to do a cleanse, make that because you want to do a cleanse. If you want to buy some drops, buy all the drops that you want. Somebody said, don't eat pork, brother. Shit. Man, do you know I just barbecued some St. Louis ribs the other day? Some St. Louis style ribs. I slow smoked them hoes too. I slow smoked some ribs. I slow smoked them for like 4 hours on red oak wood, coal and red oak. And I slow smoked them for like 3 hours. And then that last hour, I rose the heat up and then got the heat. When I slow smoked them at like 200 degrees for 3 hours. And then I took it up to 350 degrees and gave it like another 30, 45 minutes on the front side and the back side so it can cook all the way through. Nigga, I'm about to have a goddamn pork rib as soon as I'm done. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I prefer pork ribs over beef. Beef ribs are too big. You say you did spare ribs? Nah, spare ribs are them big ass brontosaurus ribs. I do baby backs of St. Louis style. I remember Dr. Layla Africa talking about I love Dr. Layla Africa, but he always had y'all remember Dr. Layla Africa? He always had an attitude when he spoke. See, these brothers be going around and they eat meat, and the fact that they eat meat, that's why. Man, Layla Africa ended up unfortunately passing away at 74 years old. My grandfather was 98 years old, and he was eating church's chicken the week before he passed away. I don't want to hear shit. Big Pontiac, what a do, brother? Shit. Now, I don't really eat beef anymore like that. That's because just my personal system, beef kind of stick with me a little bit longer. Beef don't become like I used to eat. I didn't stop eating beef for no metaphysical reasons. I stopped eating beef because that shit don't like coming out right. That shit got a little bit too hard to come out. I be sitting like, doom. I was like, I can't be eating beef like that no more. Not because I don't want to, but because when I got into my 40s, me and beef, the relationship between me and beef ain't what it was in my 30s and 20s. You don't need nothing to speak to the Spirit of God. Only thing you need is an open heart and a willingness to speak to your ancestors. That's all you need. You don't need to reset your frequency. You don't need to stop eating meat. You don't need, fuck all that. You can speak to God whenever the hell you're ready to speak with God. Yeah, I like A. Rashid. Yeah, take it at surface level. Take it at surface level. Yeah, when I do beef, is grass fed. Like the Costco Business Center, they got halal tri-tip. So whenever I throw a tri-tip on the grill, I go to the Costco Business Center and get that halal. I can eat that beef. But overall, I can't really eat beef no more because beef just felt like I was having a baby. I took a deuce. At last time I ate some regular beef. I ain't doing that no more. Woo! But yeah, I use ground turkey. Like I go to B&R Burgers, give me a turkey burger. Yeah, them beef deuces don't smell right. It smell like you ain't right with God. And it ain't a goddamn incense on earth that can fix that. Sorry to be grotesque. All right. I like lamb. I'll be smoking lamb ribs. I love smoking my lamb chops. I love smoking lamb chops. Lamb chops could be done like within 20 minutes. Man, I smoke my lamb chops for an hour. Low and slow, like at 160 degrees. Hour and a half. And then I heat it up to 300. Keep them on for like another 10, 15 minutes. Off you go. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for joining. I think I'm going to break this shit up into some clips. And some sex segments. Yeah. But I appreciate y'all for listening. Don't let these people you don't need nothing to have a relationship with God. You don't need nothing. And when it's and look, everybody ain't meant to live a long life. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. One of my mom's best friends, they've been vegetarian since the 80s. And Mr. Griffin, their last name is Griffin, my mom's best friend, Mr. and Miss Griffin. Mr. Griffin's been a vegetarian since the 80s, and he started developing Alzheimer's at 64 years old. And he'd been a vegetarian since he said he became vegetarian when he was 30. He became a vegetarian at 30 and started developing Alzheimer's at 64. Now he's like 72. He don't even recognize his wife anymore. My mom just told me that the other day when I was over there visiting my parents. I was like, damn, you couldn't find, they don't eat candy, don't drink soda, none of that. And he started developing Alzheimer's at 64 years old. 72 right now, don't even recognize his wife. I'll never forget my father-in-law, Mr. Carmichael. Man, Mr. Carmichael was eating Woody's barbecue up until the end, literally up until the end. I'd be going there to go see my father-in-law. Hey, what you want, Pops? Man, bring me some beef. Bring me some pork rib tips, a side of beef, some beans, some baked beans, and some potato salad. And I was taking him that, and he passed away 85 years old. Mr. Carmichael was ordering Uber. Man, I remember the doctor was like, man, no, he can't be eating this. He was 83 years old. The doctor like, you can't be eating this. You can't be eating burgers. Man, Pops, 83 years old, ordering Fat Burger on DoorDash. Like, nigga, y'all gonna take this shit out the house? All right. Ordering Fat Burger at DoorDash. We don't know how none of this shit works. So why you on this earth have a good time? When I used to play basketball, 5 days a week at 340 pounds. I was in my early 20s. I stayed between 320 and 340, and I hooped 3 to 5 days a week, 2 to 4 hours a day. And no matter how much I hooped, I never got below 320. If I was at 320, I was in really good shape. And I'm 6'2". 320, 330, and can still dunk a basketball. You don't know how this shit work. Who else is 6'2", 330, play basketball 5 days a week, and can dunk a basketball? Me. I was always an anomaly. Daughter be looking at me like, maybe you should get more exercise. I'm like, I'm hooping 5 days a week. LA Fitness, Venice Beach, Westchester Park, Marine Park. And I'm probably still quicker than you. I'm quick as fuck. Anybody who's ever been around me, you look at my size and be like, oh, okay. All right. Let's have a contest on who quicker. Let's see who's more agile, me or you. I'll take my agility at 330 over most people who are 240, 220, 250, not 220. 250, 240, I'll take my agility at 340 pounds over most people who are 250. Very athletic. I can't dunk now because landing. After my second knee surgery, I ain't dunking no more. But before my second knee surgery, shit. Fuck out of here. My blood pressure is good. I get a physical every year. My heart rate's right. Not pre-diabetic. All my shit check out every time I go get a physical. Live your life. Don't nobody know how the fuck this shit get down. Nobody. Live your life and love yourself. And don't let these frauds get you. And if you got, don't get got again. All right? Y'all have a good one. Nigga say you bet on me in the 10-meter race. Oh, that's fucked up. This nigga said 10-meter race. Now, after my second knee surgery, yeah, I ain't getting on a basketball court again after that second knee surgery. No. But I'm also smaller than I was when I had my knee surgery. I was bigger when I had my knee surgery. I was bigger when I hooped than I am now. But that's another story. All right, y'all. Good talking to y'all. We out.